Shalom. Kol Holo Yahweh Ba'ashum Yahusha Ba'ashum Rakach Wadash, the bonds of the apostles, the bonds of the elders at Great Millstone who rule well and taught men the truth. Much respect to you brothers out there as preaching his word in truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of earth. The tabernacle of David that's being risen up right before your very eyes, the hope elect and the speckled bird. To you I say shalom. As I get into this lesson, as you see on the screen, this is about these GLP-1s, right? And as you see, a lot of people have been reportedly sent to the spiritual realm, right? It says more than 150 deaths reported after weight loss drug use, right? And this is spiritual because last year, if I'm not mistaken, that's when I really got serious with my weight loss journey because I got really hurt bad with my leg and playing ball. And, I went through the surgery and all that. First I didn't want to go through it, but, the Lord had it to where, for the most part, it went all good. I still had some pain. Honestly, it took me a long time to heal from that, man. Long time to get back my athleticism and burst of speed and jumping ability, really, you know. Hey, that was hell, man. That was hell. But even with that, end up, gaining some weight. And I was trying to outbeat a bad diet. It's not to say that my diet was extra crazy, but it could have been better. And plus, with not being able to be very mobile, you know, for a couple years, shoot, like 2-3 years or so, hey, that was rough. So I ended up gaining some weight, and like I said, even when your diet's bad, you know, you gotta get that in order. So, watching the apostles and elders and brothers on down, brothers going on their health journey, on a health kick, especially when you come into this truth, right? You get your mind right, you learn the scriptures, and you also learn the balance of taking care of yourself, getting your health in order. And so that's what I did last year. And so, I did my lesson last year. The I forget how I phrased it, but pretty much saying, the Ozempic without the harsh side effects, right? Without the harsh chemicals, fasting, right? And so that's when I started really implementing fasting, really going hard with the fasting into my diet, right? And as you read in the scriptures, that's what our forefathers did to get closer to Yahweh Shemiel Shah, to show the Lord that, hey, we were sorry, right? So use fasting in that aspect. Also, don't tell anybody when you want to fast, right? If you're doing it for the Lord, right, for spiritual purposes, don't tell anybody why you're on the fast. Oh, I'm on the fast, brother. You know what I'm saying? Hey, scriptures speak of, just conduct yourself as if you're not on the fast, right? Because those people, as you read in the scriptures, they want that praise of men. Oh, I see you on the fast. No, don't tell nobody. But if it's for weight loss purposes or so, you might tell the brother or so. But for the most part, just tell somebody afterwards, hey, here's the results, here's what it has done for me. But yeah, last year that's when I started it, and hey, got in great shape. Man, it was nice. Got in great shape, man. And so I was doing a 44 hour or 46 hour, or the whole 2 day fast, and it's for like every week for like 2 to 3 months, right? I want to say about maybe 2.5, so almost 3 months, right? That's what I did. And hey, it worked marvelously for me, so that's something that you can implement into your lifestyle, right? And also, hey, you can't outwork a bad diet. So you got to get your diet in order. And one of the best ways to lose weight is to just walk. Depending on where you at in your health journey and or in your body, however your body maneuvers, you might want to start with a 30-minute walk outside or on the treadmill. I mostly did it on the treadmill. Matter of fact, last year, really, I did more running, right? But really, when you do the research, it's better to walk. And that's what I've been doing. It's better to walk than to run, right? Because when you run, you're going to want to refill your body with all them calories, and, all them bad foods and stuff, man. You really got to fight them demons. Speaking from experience. So it's better to walk than to run on the treadmill, right? So walk for 30 minutes. You might hit a plateau, so you may want to go to walking for 40 minutes. That's where I'm at right now, because I hit a plateau, and so I had to bump it up. Now it's about 40 minutes, sometimes an hour, sometimes it's 50 minutes, sometimes it's an hour, you know. But most definitely, watch your diet and get out there and walk and weight train. Get your body in order, right? But as we preach the word as well, first and foremost, get this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, right? That's what we telling you. Get this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding while you can, and then learn the balance within this truth. Work out, do your lessons, work out, and that's learn the balance on how you walk within this thing. I also want to get because I got it over here. Does lemon water keep you in ketosis? Look up what you can drink on if you do a water fast, right? Which is very knowledgeable. This is what we do, right? Yes, drinking plain lemon water will keep you in ketosis. It's good for your kidneys as well. But as you see, 1 tablespoon of fresh lemon juice has less than 1 gram of carbohydrate and few calories, which will not rise your blood sugar nor insulin levels enough to break a fat burning state. So you can drink your lemon water, right? What helped me as well was drinking black coffee. I looked at my father crazy, growing up when he said he would drink black coffee. Now that I'm his age, when I was looking at him crazy, I see. All right. Look at what black coffee does. All right. I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds nasty, but ask yourself, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want to be in shape? That's what I ask myself. How bad do you want it? Right? You look in the mirror and, hey, this ain't the guy that I'm used to seeing. Yeah, I was working out. You know, to me, people might compliment you. People might say, hey, the muscles is popping, but you got a little fat on you, man. you know, I'm like, man, this. How bad do I want it? This ain't it. I gotta get myself in shape. So ask yourself, how bad do you want it? Right? So yeah, I can say right now I'm used to it, just chug the black coffee, but it is something to get used to. It is something to get used to. But drink the black coffee. Um it it blocks the hunger hormone called ghrelin, right? And so you're able to fast. It makes the fast even easier, right? Makes the fast even easier. So that is something that I implement. Drinking the black coffee. Once again, I know it sound crazy, but that's something that I implement. Look it up, right? But make sure you break the fast properly, right? So you won't have no kidney issues, so you won't have no issues, right? What to eat after a long fast. After a long fast, you should reintroduce food gently with small portions and easy to digest hydrating items like bone broth, watermelon, or cooked vegetables. Avoid heavy and grease or high fiber raw foods right away to prevent stomach aches, right? And this is something I had to learn the hard way, going on the fast, breaking the fast improperly, man. Because you'll feel it like, oh man, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have ate that, man. So yeah, make sure you break the fast properly. You eat some eggs, like it says, bone broth, watermelon, cooked vegetables, right? Look it up, right? It says lean proteins, right? Small amount of eggs, white fish, or tender chicken, right? Small servings of white rice, plain potatoes or oatmeal, soft steamed carrots, zucchini, spinach, right? Those are some of the things in which you can eat to properly get off a fast, right? Foods to avoid initially: raw vegetables and beans, high fiber items that are tough on resting on the gut, right? Heavy and fatty meals, greasy or fried foods. Yeah, yeah, because when you're on this fast, you really want to fast from these polluted foods, man. I've also seen, hey, it's probably good to go on a fast, a 24-hour fast every week. I may end up doing that once I get to my goal weight. Just instead of a longer fast, just do a 24-hour fast every week. Because these foods just ain't good for the body, right? These foods just ain't good for the body. So yeah, man, I'm doing a lot. Let me get a scripture real quick, cause Salaki doing a lot of talking. I'm already right here, right? 1 Corinthians 13:11. When I was a child, I spake as a child, and I understood as a child. I thought as a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things. Now, I'm getting the scripture because when you come into this truth, that's when you truly, and when you take heed to it, right? That's when you truly become a man, right? Put away those childish things. You really, one of the most important things of this walk is learning to balance, right? Not to be no damn hermit crab. The Lord didn't call for you to be a monk, a hermit crab. You can have fun. You can enjoy life, right? You can go play ball. You can go play video games, hang out with the bros, hang out with your woman, right? So on and so forth. But have balance. Do your lessons. Edify the flock. Edify the limbs of Yahweh Shemiel Shai, right? And make sure that you're staying spiritual. Make sure you're studying, doing the work of the Lord, and play, right? And play. What the scriptures say, my yoke is easy, my burden is light, right? It really, when you boil down, it really ain't that hard. Just do the work, man. Especially if you're trying to get beamed up, trying to get the heck up out of here, trying to get them spiritual powers. Do the work of the Lord. But yeah, when you come into this thing, you learn the balance of things, and you learn how to take care of your body, right? You learn how to take care of your body, right? This is just short as well. I got to my like goal weight. I lost like 20 something pounds, and then my schedule changed, right? So my schedule changed at work, and I went into bad habits. You see, went into bad habits, and I gained almost all that weight back. I went back up to 228. The first time I was 230. I went back up to 228, and I was like, oh nah, this ain't it. This ain't it. I got, did all that hard work running. The first time I ran, um, Slaggy, this is like my second time recording this video. But yeah, the first time I was running, I did a lot of walking because of my job, but I ran. In which, when you do your research, the best way to lose weight is to walk. Right? It's easier on the joints. Um, after the run or so, you're not craving to, scarf down a whole whole plate, man. It's easier on your body, right? And you're burning the fat that you need to burn, that visceral fat, right? Walking targets that visceral fat, okay? And that's what you want to do. You want to walk more than you want to run. Now, if you want to train, you want to implement some running here and there, once or twice a week, depending on your body, depending how, fast you heal or so. Yeah, implement that. That's what I've done now. You know, like I said, it's easier on the body, and walking actually targets that visceral fat that you want to get rid of, right? So if I haven't said it, you want to walk for about 30 minutes. 30 minutes, go outside, walk for 30 minutes, depending on where you starting at. Walk for 30 minutes. Walk for 30 minutes on the treadmill, right? Put the incline up and walk. And if you hit a plateau, right, go up. That's what happened to me. Hit a plateau. All right. Gonna walk for 40 minutes. Gonna walk for 50 minutes. Gonna walk for an hour, right? But also make sure you got your diet dialed in. Abs are made in the kitchen, right? If you want the abs, they are made in the kitchen. All right. So get your diet in order and walk, and do some weight training as well. You can do some calisthenics, pull ups, push ups, right? Dips, right? Do those, do some weight trainings. You ain't even got to go hard and heavy, but do some weight training as well, right? That's something that you want to do. I've seen some people in the gym, they just walk and they're not weight training, and they lose their weight and they don't look right. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, you gotta lift some weights too. You know what I'm saying? There is a such thing as it's doing too much of one thing, man. Right? Make sure you walking and doing a little, calisthenics and weight training. Hey, I recommend doing all three. I recommend doing all three if you want to get yourself right and get your diet in order first and foremost. Right. But yeah, I had gained back almost all my weight. So I had to lose it again. So I'm back to 205. I want to go to 200, maybe 195. I'll see how that looks on me, but you know, had to lose all that weight again, you know, going to bad habits, right? That's when you got to catch yourself. You can equate that within this truth, man, right? Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Don't follow the ways of this world. Don't follow the ways of them bad habits, man. Bad habits get you choked up, right? You find yourself more play than being consistent and doing the work. Hey, check yourself. And that's what I had to do. I had to catch myself, and I had to get back on that plan, man. Start walking, you know, get my diet dialed back in, and then I started fasting again like I was. Like I said, I've been doing a 44, 46-hour fast, sometimes 2 days. This week I did a 60-hour fast, which is, well, when you're going on a fast, if it's spiritually and you're going on a fast, don't tell nobody, right? Don't tell nobody you going on a fast. You read it in the scriptures, man. Men that done it, people that done. Oh, I'm on a fast. Oh, And you have your consolation, man, right? You just go on a fast, you just do it. You conduct yourself as if you're not on a fast, right? And really, once you get past the 24 hours, it really gets easier. It really gets easier, right? It really gets easier. Speaking for myself first and foremost, man. It really got easier. But yeah, if you're doing it for the Lord, don't tell nobody. You know, if you want to tell somebody afterwards, after you complete the fast, cool. But if you're doing it for weight loss, you might tell the brother, "Hey, right now I'm on a fast for weight loss." You can do it like that. But if it's for the Lord, getting yourself together, yeah, don't tell nobody. But if it's for weight loss, yeah, hey, I'm doing such and so fast. I'm doing that fast, and that's what worked for me. Got one brother, um, Yeromyam, he in my camp, right? My second in command. He went on a 3 day water fast. I mean 3 day watermelon fast, and I believe he said he lost like 5 pounds doing that. You know what I'm saying? That's something that you can do. Another brother in the Nashville camp, man, great brother. I believe he did like a month fast of of slacking, not like a month fast, but a month of only eating. I believe like the first part he did like fruits and vegetables, and then like only eating vegetables. And when I saw him, the first time, he didn't need to go on a fast. On the outwardly didn't need to go on a fast, but other brothers do it. Just they have their reasons. You know what I'm saying? And especially being here in Babylon the Great, with the foods being defiled, hey, it's a good thing to go on a fast. You in this walk, you've been in this walk for a minute, go on a fast, brother. You should be practicing fasting. You should be used to fasting, man. Picture yourself within Jacob's trouble, man. Think about it. Put yourself, no easier said than done, but hey, there may be sometimes you may have to fast. The scriptures do say, "My servant shall eat." Bank on that too, but be also used to fast. If you know a famine's coming, be used to fasting. Because everybody else they're going to go crazy when their stomach start touching their ribs, man. At least when you're in that predicament, you trust and believe in the Lord. The Lord, Lord gonna take care of you. We're gonna feed you. But if you gotta fast for a little minute, hey, fast. That way, when that time comes, you're already used to it, man. Sloggy, it's a lot of talking with this one, but just putting you on game on how I did it. Like I said, this is my second time losing more than 20 pounds, right? I did it first time last year, and then I had to do it again this year. And this time I'm gonna stick with it. You know, I heard a fitness influencer said, consistency over perfection. And you can apply that to this truth. When you first come into this truth, another reason why I'm bringing 1 Corinthians 13 and 11 out, right? When I was a child, I spake as a child, understood as a child, I thought as a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things, right? Consistency over perfection. You can apply that to this truth, right? As in, when you first come into this truth, you may not know all the breakdowns, right? So bring out what you know. And if the Lord's dealing with you and the Lord's supping with you, right? And you start listening to the apostles and elders and brothers on down, you might start looking up the breakdown of this, looking up the breakdown of that. And then you're able, right? You're chewing on that meat now, then you're able to break down the harder scriptures, man. But get the basics down first. Apply that, even in the world, working out, you know, just stay consistent with walking. Once again, walking is the best way to lose weight. Walk. You hit a plateau. Seem like you're not losing weight. Change up the diet a little bit. That's what I did. Make sure you dial in the diet. You may have to walk a little longer, and then you start seeing results. Work out a little harder, then you start seeing results, right? But yeah, I'm gonna get this right here too. Sirach 14 verse 5. He that is even to himself, to whom will he be good? He shall not take pleasure in his own goods. This man is evil to himself. What the scriptures say? Sirach 12 and 10. Never trust thy enemy, for like iron rusteth, so of his wickedness, man. So never trust this man. This man is evil to his own people. So seeing this man evil to his own people, right? Got the people, pretty much drugged up and being sent to the spiritual realm because of these things, right? Let's see, Sirach 14, verse 7. And if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly, and at the last he would declare his wickedness, you see. So anything that he does, quote unquote, in quotation mark, good, he does it unwillingly, man. And at the end, you'll see his wickedness. Like this thing with the Curry 3, right? The jump shot, the C. Yeah, the jump shot, Salaki. I was about to say the C hip. It's not the C hip, but it is the prelude. It is one of the preludes to the C hip, right? But once again, it's not the C hip. All right, but the Curry 3, right? The thing you had to, the people were telling you to get, right? They had to learn the hard way that what we've been saying, you know, not to take that thing. They had to learn the hard way that, hey, you know what? No men on the highways and byways, you know what? Them so-called conspiracy theorists, they were right. That's another thing, It's been crickets. It's been crickets about these people, calling the conspiracy theorists crazy. Because they starting to see, hey, you onto something. But the difference between us and them, right? We're bringing out the scriptures. We're telling you how to get close to Yahweh Shemiel Shah, and Lord willing, you and your household be delivered, right? So yeah, these people out there in the world, they may see some things, they may know what the MOTB is. They may know what may know not to take that Curry 3, right? That jump shot. But their message does not go back to Yahweh Shemiel Shah. Their message does not go back to repentance, right? So that's the difference between us and them, right? But yeah, Slaggy, I went long winded on this thing, but it's just all through the spirit. Hey, fasting, right? When you come into this truth, learn to fast, right? Start building up your body to fast. Um, when you feel that hunger, understand that's a hormone called ghrelin, and you can beat it. Hey, this is a spiritual thing, man. You can beat it. Just ignore it. Drink some water. All right, drink some water. You shouldn't be out here snacking all day, eating Snickers and honey buns and all that stuff. Change up your diet, Jake. Change up your diet, right? Now, some brothers may have some underlying issues. That is something that, and we need to kingdom. You may have sleep apnea, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, may cause you to weight gain because you're not sleeping properly, right? That's as something. But do what you can do to do what you can do, right? And implement some fasting, man. I would say even within myself, doing the fast, sleep is better, energy is better, you feel better, you're more clear minded, you feel good, man. So implement some fasting into your life, especially if you've been in this walk for a while and you ain't been doing it. Do it, Jake. Do it. Pray to the Lord. Pray about it. But I will advise you to practice fasting. Jacob's trouble. Just picture yourself in Jacob's trouble. You may not have access to food right then and there. You may have to go a day without food, right? Practice fasting. Pray to the Lord that, the Lord gonna take care of you and feed you, but there may be some trying times, man. So trust and believe in that, man. But yeah, Lord willing, this was edifying and helpful to you. Once again, walk and fast. Even when I do my almost 2 day fast, right? Like I said, 44 hour, 46, sometimes 2 day fast. I'm at the point where I can work out and be fine. Even when I first started, at the water Yahweh I was fine. Even when I first started, I was fine. I was at work, hot, sweaty. And I would go to the gym at work out, what I'm saying? And I was good. You'll be fine, Jake. You'll be fine. But like I said, if you got underlying conditions, pray about it, and do what you got to do. Practice fasting, man. It worked, man. Right. That way you won't find yourself in the spiritual realm, taking these GOP-1s, whatever they call them, man. You know, do it, Jake. Do it, and find and you'll see the change in your body. Like I said, I have lost again. I had to lose again. What about over 20 pounds, 22, 23 pounds again, right? And I'm planning on, doing the fast, doing the walking. I plan on, going back to 200, going back to maybe 195. I'll see, if need be 180, But the Lord's will, we'll see how things play out. But yeah, fasting is good for you. Look up the benefits of fasting. It's good for you. Take care of your body. Spiritually get yourself together. Find the balance within this life, man. Pray to the Lord that you find that balance. Working out, doing the work of the Lord. You know. But yeah, Slag, yeah, this one's a little long with it, but with that, Shalom.